Welcome back to 5 on Fridays. I'm Brandon Kimbrough, Employee Wellness Coordinator with the City of Columbus. I have with me Whitney Smith, our UHC Health Engagement Nurse and dear friend of the program. How are you today, Whitney?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, happy to have you. June is Men's Health Month. We're towards the end of the month, and I'm sorry we didn't get this out sooner, but it's still the same month. It still counts. We wanted to make sure we had a chance to talk about and highlight some really important factors that go into every man's health and make sure that everybody had the information they needed to take care of themselves as we raise awareness in June every year. And Whitney has 3 things she wants to go into with us today. Whitney, what's your first thing you want to talk about for men's health?
The first thing that's most important for men's health, it is the leading cause of death for men in the United States, is heart disease or cardiovascular disease. And heart disease or cardiovascular disease is a general term that lumps in all things related to heart and vascular system, like coronary artery disease, hypertension or high blood pressure, high cholesterol, congestive heart failure.
Yeah, wow, a lot of different things in there, and coronary artery disease being the #1 killer of men in the country. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. Obviously, should be near the top of the list. So, knowing that it's #1, Whitney, what are some of the risk factors we should look out for?
Yes, so generally speaking, keeping your weight in check will help decrease your risks. Smoking adds greatly to your risk. Stress, mental wellness, it's crazy how much that relates to cardiovascular disease. Your diet, eating healthy, a well-balanced diet, having diabetes is strongly correlated with heart disease, and family history can come into play. But the thing about family history is there's a piece of it that's genetic, but also it likely has to do with the culture and the environment that you grew up in. Family members that also have cardiovascular issues had the same environment and culture, eating and exercise-wise as you did, so that's what puts you at increased risk. Also, age. As we age, the more exposure we have to those habits, our eating and our exercise, if they're not so great, that increases your risk as you age.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and it's scary because there's a lot of different things that contribute to that. But it's really good for us to be aware of how complex an issue is, and maybe we just tackle them one at a time, the ones that we can control, right? So, okay, quickly, let's move on to number 2. What's your second one?
Number 2 is prostate cancer. Men are at risk for that if they also, keep in check with your weight and activity. You're going to hear a common theme here. Things you want to monitor for and talk to your doctor about is anything abnormal when you're talking about urinating. Any pain or blood you might be seeing that's abnormal or something new, you want to talk to your doctor about that. At age 50, you will be routinely screened if you are seeing your primary care provider at that time. But if some symptoms are popping up sooner, definitely can be looked into with your primary care provider.
Yeah, no, that's good. Prostate cancer, such a scary thing. I think an underreported and an underthought about thing as far as men go. Raising awareness about it because it can be very dangerous is important.
Yes, actually 1 in 9 men are affected by prostate cancer.
Wow, 1 in 9. That is a lot. That's a lot. So, okay, what's the third thing and final thing you want to talk about today on this episode?
The third thing is colorectal cancer. So that is also something you will be routinely screened for at the age of 50, sooner if you have symptoms. Symptoms that we're looking for is any changes in your bowel routine, if you have pain or bleeding, cramping, something that's out of the ordinary. Similar risk factors of, a healthy diet, a well-balanced diet, and keeping your weight in check, making sure that you see your doctor routinely to talk about those things is important to stay ahead of it.
Yeah, we went through those quickly, but 3 very important risk factors and things that men need to think about as we raise awareness in the month of June. Anything else you want to leave us with as we close up the episode?
Yes, the reoccurring theme that we've talked about, healthy living, well-balanced diet, keeping your weight in check, those are all going to decrease your risk to any of these diseases or conditions. And we have a lot of resources to offer you to help you along the way. You can certainly call Wendy or I to talk about your health, and then we want to connect you with a registered dietitian to help really understand where you're at and what you need to make improvements. We also have the Front Street Fitness that offers personal training. They can, again, meet you where you're at and help you get started. And one more thing I wanted to mention, something that puts you at risk for all of these diseases or illnesses is smoking. We know a lot about the effects of smoking, but trying to quit is really hard, and we understand that. We have smoking cessation programs available for you. If you need help, please reach out to Wendy and I. We can get you get you hooked up. We're here to support you in those small steps.
Yeah, and the thing that I thought about while you were going through that, you're right, we have so many great resources that we can provide you, employees who are interested, but all of those things that are scary are tied to things, diet, exercise, stress reduction, they all help reduce. Because they're all tied to the same thing, if you can address some of those healthy lifestyle behaviors, you can lower your risk in all of them at the same time, which is also really nice.
Yep.
So, okay, that's gonna do it in today's episode. Happy June, happy Men's Health Month to everybody out there. Whitney, thank you so much for joining me today. We will have you back soon. We'll have more discussions like this. And if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to us.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you next time.